Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. All right, so this week up on the
Sprocket.
okay,
That's what I started interrupting you as you said it because I wanted to say Sprocket.
okay, this week up on the Sprocket, of course, as always, we're gonna be starting off talking about what we've been up to this week, games we've been playing, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be going into the blogs for this week. The first one going to be starting off with the Winter Summit announcement. So that's actually pretty good news at least. I don't know if it's pretty big. It is good news. And then we'll be taking a look at the Poll 77 changes, which are going to be the update for this week. Pretty big,
small things too.
Pretty huge update.
Shut up, they're not. Don't get excited.
Massive.
I'm
changes.
excited though.
Yeah, it is nice. A few of the stuff that we talked about a few weeks ago have already been implemented, so that's pretty cool. We'll go over that. And then the final thing we're going to go over is a mystery quest and its boss rewards. So this is the mystery quest that they alluded to again a couple weeks ago, and there's a lot more details on it now and their philosophy behind it. So behind the rewards rather, and so we'll take a look at all of that. And then of course we'll be ending off on a Q&A as per usual.
Yep.
But before we get into any of that, Michelle, how is it going?
It's going really well. I hit a big milestone in Chambers. I'm covering up my notes because Robert just glanced down at my notes.
Okay. I mean, she's going to tell me in 1 second.
Okay,
so.
throughout the week, I write down anything that I do, like in RuneScape, just so whenever you're like, what have you been up to? I'm like, well, I don't know.
Okay.
So I hit 400 chamber kills.
Wow.
And then I had a second milestone last night. I got 420.
Wow.
Blaze it.
Crazy.
I'm really excited about it. I'm going a little bit dry on a purple right now. I haven't gotten any, but I've seen 3 splits recently, which is nice.
Nice.
So we got D-Claws the other day and a Dragonhair crossbow. That was in the same night, pulled by the same person.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there's just like a couple raids in between. And then last night somebody pulled the Dex, which is now worth 30 mil.
That's weird.
It used to be 15 mil. Now it's worth 30 mil. I was so confused because I have like this plugin that says how much splits are worth, and it was like 10 mil. And I was like, oh, it's messing up. Like it should only be like 3 mil each or 4 mil each. And I was like, no, this is huge.
That's weird.
It was really nice. There's only 3 of us for that one too, so it was sick. One of them, I think the D-Claws, there was like 4 of us. Dragon Crossbow, there was like 6 of us or so though. So
I wonder what's made it 3 times more expensive.
Toa, people finally want it.
No, I think maybe
people said when the raid came out, it got more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think maybe because less people are doing raids.
Well, that too, probably. But apparently, like, a lot of people want it now, so they could hit harder at Toa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why people didn't already have it going into Toa. It's not like it was expensive.
People will be lazy, bro.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
But also, I did do some Toa, actually. It's still not my favorite raid. Still Chambers, I like more, but I've done a couple. I think I literally did like 3 this week. One of them, I was getting like kind of messed up. I think I mentioned last week we have stream loots now, so people could like buy these card packs to make me do stuff on stream. So Ninja was just like absolutely playing me and having me like close my eyes for 10 seconds at a time and just stuff like that.
Nice.
So that time I planked a lot because I kept having to do stuff like that. But the one I did last night, I don't think I died at all, which was pretty cool. It was on like
cool.
a 205 as well, which is high for me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
It's high, okay? It's better than normal.
It's pretty much 600.
Yeah, I mean, we had every single invocation possible on, basically.
Oh, nice.
It was fun. I think I like Toa more when it's a big group. I don't like when it's a small group, because then it feels like more pressure, you know?
Yeah.
Same with, like, Chambers. Like, I like Chambers in small groups more than I like Toa in small groups. But we've been, like, doing Chambers with, like, 5 to 7 people this week, and it's been so much fun. It feels so fast to own when there's that much people. It's like so satisfying. It's just like you're on one hand for 30 seconds and it's like, okay, that hand's dead.
Yeah.
It feels cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's good that you like it, even though
a lot of people don't.
The splits are like 0.
Yeah. I mean, better than the actual 0 that I normally get at Chambers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I've been having so much fun raiding this week. I want to do more Chambers, for sure. If anyone wants to join in on Chambers on Friday night, if you listened to us before, come hang out. Twitch.tv/Bunebape.
And maybe TOA.
And maybe TOA. I've done like 1 TOA as a special treat. And then some nights I say, no, never mind. I'm a liar.
Yeah.
Other than that, the other day, we started playing Boom Bears a lot on stream. If you guys haven't seen that, it's my my preferred alternative to marbles.
Yeah, it's
So
just like a random game, right?
it's like a randomly generated game where you could just join from the chat and you're like a little teddy bear and you guys just like blow each other up with like grenades and bazookas. It's not like gory or anything. It's just like your character just flies away.
Yeah, they're like cartoons.
Yeah, they're little like cartoon teddy bears. They're very cute. And people really like when I do that. So I like gave away Bond, gave away a couple other things. And I was running out of stuff to give away, but people were like, more boom bears, which we call boon bears. And
Which, if you say it that fast, people don't know the
boon,
difference.
boon, like Bunebape bears compared to boom, like blowing up.
Yes.
I know, I mumble as well too, so it's not great. I gave away 2 VIP slots. Shout out to Arc Rain and Yeet Greet for getting those.
That's yeah. Why'd you give it to all the streamers?
I didn't. That's just who won.
Sure, definitely not rigged.
Shut up. So the first time that I did it, I was like, okay, you guys, enter to join, but you have to have more than 50 messages. Like, I'm not going to give VIP to somebody who's their first time in the chat. First person to win, they had 2 messages, both of which were just saying join. So I was like, okay, we're going to re-roll this. Then Wraith won. Wraith's a mod, can't win VIP. And then it was Arc.
Dang.
And it was like the same thing after that. Like, I had to just keep doing like a bunch of re-rolls. But they ended up winning, so that was nice. And I think Arc won VIP twice, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah, because your character gets re-entered if you won.
So they're super VIP.
Yeah, double VIP, only double VIP in the chat. Shout out Arc Rain. Arc Rain's also a streamer. Yeegreet is also a streamer. Look them both up. They're very cool. And then the other thing that I did, because I was like running out of stuff to give away, I didn't want to give away all of our VIP slots. I let chat choose my next level that I get. Whoever won that round of Boon Bears, and Arc Rain chose for me to get thieving. So I've been working on a lot of thieving now.
Nice.
I'm like halfway to 92.
And you've just been doing nights?
Yeah, I've been doing nights. I think I might do some Pyramid Plunder whenever I'm editing, though. Because, like, I'm over spam clicking. Or I might change it so I could just click something on my keyboard instead. Because my mouse is so cheap, I'm afraid if spam clicking is just going to break it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Hopefully I will be 92 shortly. I didn't want to do like skilling streams and I've really been enjoying reading. So I was like, whoops, this might take me a second to get this leveled up, but I will. I'm doing it for you, Arc, if you listen.
Oh, I mean, it should be really quick. Is it 90 yet?
It's 91.
That's 91.
I only have to level up 1 level.
Yeah, I was like, that shouldn't
but
take very long.
I have barely done anything since I got 91. I got 91 last year when I got my achievement cape.
I mean, that should only take like a couple hours, right?
Yeah, but I just don't have the patience to spam click for a couple hours, so that's why I might go to Pyramid Plunder. And maybe I'll get more money there anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not, maybe.
I've gotten 2 of the scepters already.
Nice.
Yeah. I also got my Hunter to 89, which I didn't know was going to happen. That was a cool little surprise yesterday when I was
How'd
doing
you get it to 89?
Birdhouses.
Oh.
That's why it's always a little surprise, because I do birdhouses, and I'm like, oh, cool, nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, my farming's like 48.5 mil, no pets still. Before we recorded, I was like thieving and Artie and somebody at Tango Root, and we were all talking about it. And they said, oh, their friend just got at 50 something. And I was like, I'm at like 48. Like, what the heck?
Dang.
Someday. I start out every stream with a fruit tree run because I'm like, someday I'm going to get it. Someday I'm going to get it. And people are going to be like, oh my God, you got it. And it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Someday.
You want to talk about something else that you're really excited about? Is you got your glasses now.
Oh my God, I finally got my glasses. I don't know. You probably think I'm wearing them right now. I'm wearing my old reading glasses right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they look exactly the same.
No, yeah. I mean, I like the same style.
Okay.
I got glasses to wear at nighttime driving, like while watching TV, and
She ordered them months ago.
I literally ordered them in September, and it took me 2 months to go get them. It's only like 15 miles away. I'm just the worst. And it was so awkward having to call and make sure they were still there. I was like, time just kind of got away from me. Are they still on hold? It was embarrassing.
Why would they throw them away?
Well, I wasn't sure if they'd like return them to the manufacturer. I don't know. I just wanted to double check before I drove 15 miles.
Yeah. They're like, actually, we put them in the trash 1 week after when they expired.
Shut up. But I was really devastated to learn that these glasses make a huge difference, and my eyesight is not great, so that sucks. But
yeah, rest
whatever.
in peace.
They didn't say I have to wear them all the time. I'm not gonna wear them all the time. Like during the day, I think it's fine. I just can't see leaves as clearly as I could if I was wearing them. That's why isn't that
okay?
Did you always think that too? Whenever you got into glasses, you immediately are just like, "Wow, leaves."
No.
Really?
I didn't think about leaves.
Oh, I know so many people who feel the same way. They're just like, "Wow, you can see leaves really clearly now."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What did you always notice?
that I could just see clear.
You're so boring.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
See leaves
That I can
clear?
see at all.
All right.
Yeah, I don't. This is like kind of a sad story, but like the reason I found out I needed glasses is because I couldn't see the board in math class and had to ask people next to me what the problems were.
That is really depressing.
That's why I needed glasses, not for leaves.
What about them leaves though?
I
No,
don't give a
I
damn
couldn't.
about leaves.
I couldn't see the board well either. But leaves are the first thing I noticed trying on glasses. Is I like would look outside the window and be like, oh wow, nice.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Finally, I can actually see what I'm doing in class.
And after I got them, I went to a grocery store to get a couple of things, and I wore the glasses inside, and I was like, oh man, I forgot I could usually read the signs from like super far away. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
LASIK lasted 4 years. A beautiful, beautiful 4 years. Once my eyes stabilize again and don't keep getting worse, because they've just been getting worse, I'm gonna get that again for sure.
Yeah.
I have a lifetime
Sure.
guarantee, as long as I keep going yearly for checkups.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're probably gonna be like, well, actually, there was this one clause that you didn't get, so no guarantee.
Yeah. Luckily, my LASIK still works. So there we go.
I know, right? Other than that, I played Outlast.
Hey, you beat Outlast.
I beat Outlast. I also beat A Beast Inside too, which is
A Beast Within.
no, it's A Beast Inside.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
everyone kept saying A Beast Within too. I thought so as well. It's Beast Inside. That
Oh,
one was
stupid.
pretty good. I'd never I didn't really know anything about that, and it was pretty good. Outlast, meanwhile, good in the way that it's the worst game I've ever played in my life.
They're both scary games.
They're both scary. Outlast, I posted a clip on our Discord under videos if anyone wants to see. I think it's the first time I've ever actually kind of screamed in a game. I felt so bad. I don't think Robert even watched the clip. I'll watch it later.
No.
It wasn't too loud, thankfully, but we have like neighbors on all sides, and this was at like 2:00 in the morning. So I even am saying in the clip, like, I need to like laugh really loud now so my neighbors don't think I'm being murdered. It was
No, you need to just not make noises that loud at 2 a.m.
yeah, but I know, but it's already too late now. So what's your strategy
You're like,
following this?
I've already woken them up once. I might as well just keep doing it.
I mean, well, it's better to scream and then laugh after than just scream and then be silent like I'm dead.
Do you think there's no chance they would even think about it? They're probably asleep and just heard a noise.
Yeah, even if they did hear it, like bystander effect is too real. They'd probably be like, "Oh, someone else has got it."
Yeah, well, I don't, yeah, they wouldn't know which apartment it came from. Not like they're standing right outside, like, oh, I hear it now.
You know, sometimes it does make me feel better that if someone broke in, I could like scream, and we have neighbors on all the sides, and I'm like, oh, maybe someone will be like, let's go help. But then at the same time, I know if I heard our neighbors screaming, I'd probably be like, oh, they're probably just messing around.
Yeah, that's why you scream fire.
Ooh, big true, big true.
Literally everyone says to scream fire because people actually do something about it.
I feel like if I heard someone scream fire, I'd be like, they've got it.
No, they'll. If you scream fire, people will at least call 911 for fire.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so that was the thing. Outlast is like potentially the scariest game I've ever played, I think.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
up there with Madison. I've played some really scary games, and it's up there for sure.
Yeah, none of these games are scary, but
You don't think you'd be scared of Outlast?
they're not scary games.
You'd be scared of Outlast for sure.
Okay.
It's also like the kind of game where you can't like shoot your way out of it or attack. They even say in the beginning like you have to hide and run the entire time, which
Yeah.
makes it almost scarier at parts because you can't fight back.
Okay.
Yeah, I like games like that though. That's kind of how Amnesia was, and I think it's cool because you're not locked behind bosses, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I think those games are dumb because I like
Okay.
fighting back.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. And then my last stream before we go out of town is going to be on Monday. So if you guys want to say hello before that, just show up before Monday. Oh, also we did our movie night. That went really well, actually. It was a lot of fun. There was like 6 of us there, I think. We ended up watching Terminator 2.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, you'd never seen it, right?
I don't think I'd ever seen it. I'd probably seen parts of it as a kid, but like never really.
That's weird because I've seen the movie so many times.
No, I know you have. We were going to watch a scary movie, and Robert was like, I thought he didn't want to join the movie. But then he was like, no, I was planning on it, but I don't want to watch a scary movie. And I was like, we could switch. But he's like, oh, I don't want you guys to switch for me. And then Ninja just happened to be like, I want to watch Terminator 2. And we ended up switching movies. And I was like, Robert, you could join.
Yeah, I mean, I still didn't really watch it, but yeah, it was cool.
He was there for a little bit of it at least, which was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. Hopefully we'll do another one soon, maybe next month whenever we're back. But anyway, how are you?
Pretty good. I will not go on for as long, but
I didn't go on as long as I have before, okay?
yeah, it's definitely not a record, surprisingly. But Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch still, competitive. It's pretty fun game still. I don't know what else to say about that.
I
I'm
hate
in
it now.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fun. It's cool because they're just getting some like patches now to like rebalance some things, so that's kind of cool. I'm in like I don't think anyone knows or cares about the ranking system, but
Tell us anyway.
I'm in like platinum right now, which is okay, I
And
guess.
it's like the worst, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Wait,
don't
you
know.
talked about this last week actually, how it goes like all the medals and then just skips and they're like Grandmaster.
It's yeah, it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, grandmaster.
I remember you
So
said that last year and I was like, that's kind of weird.
yeah, I don't know. Games fun, I guess, if you like competitive games. If not, if you've like played Counter Strike and you hated it, then you will hate this game. But it's pretty cool if you enjoy it. And besides that, though, I've actually been playing some Minecraft. That game's obviously always fun. And Michelle's never played it because she's a noob
I
and
need to.
she doesn't know what it's like. But I have made a house in a bamboo forest.
Watching him run into little pandas made me want to play because I want to make a panda sanctuary.
Yeah, there was a bunch of pandas, and I kept feeding them bamboo, and they'll just like sit down on their butts eating bamboo, and then they'll like what's it called? They'll just like
Multiply.
they'll just make children like that just pop out of nowhere, and then there'll be like a baby panda running around.
And some of the pandas are brown too, and they're so cute.
Yeah, some of them are brown. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. I've just been building up my base, and that's just like a server that I have with friends and stuff like that. But
I'm glad you've been playing games again.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
nice.
yeah, it's okay.
It's nice to take breaks.
But yeah, speaking of playing games, I have not played any RuneScape in many weeks now.
I know, it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously I'll come back and play it just like how I'll come back and play WoW eventually.
It's just
not right now.
yeah. And then whenever he comes back, he's probably gonna go hard for a little bit and get burnt out.
Yeah, maybe not though. Who knows? But yeah, not honestly too much else to besides that. That's really all I've been doing.
Nice.
So
And then Netherlands next week.
yeah, and then we'll be traveling next week. So again, we don't know what we're gonna do with the podcast, but
We'll post on Discord.
Yes, if we have any updates, we'll post on Discord or Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, not sure if we want to like record early because we'd be missing 2 episodes.
Yeah, we will be missing 2 episodes.
Maybe we can record one next week and skip one week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll post on Discord, so join our Discord if you want to see. I'll probably post on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Bunebapeosrs.
But we'll figure it out either way.
Yeah, probably very last second.
We're gonna go into the updates right now because that's pretty much all I have. So
Okay.
we're gonna take a look at the Winter Summit live stream on December 10th. So yeah, obviously it'll be on December 10th. So
They
in
scheduled one.
just about like 3.5 weeks from now, and it'll be on a Saturday. So not the usual Wednesday announcements and stuff like that. It's gonna be on the Old School RuneScape Twitch channel.
Someone's working overtime for this.
Yeah, and probably everyone is. But for anyone that doesn't know what these summit events are, they are essentially a biannually event for RuneScape where they kind of announce what's going on for the next 6 months. And this is where they like lay out any big plans that they have coming up. And like the last one is when they announced raids, I think it was, yeah, just a lot of stuff like that. They have an entire announcement trailer for it, so you can kind of see, I don't know, wise old man talking to someone about the upcoming events and stuff like that. But it is going to be one last time on Saturday, December 18th at 8 p.m. GMT or 12 p.m. Pacific time if you are Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time if you are Eastern for the United States. But yeah, it's going to take a look at all the stuff that's going to be coming up in early 2023. So make sure to tune in and you'll be greeted by the hosts, Maud Aiza and Kieran.
And that will be on the OSRS Twitch.
Yes, the OSRS Twitch. I'm sure they'll have a
million more posts about this.
like a YouTube video about this after the fact if you end up missing it, or you can just go watch the VOD on the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
So.
Or just listen to the podcast the week after, and we'll probably be talking about it.
Yeah, so we will. A lot. Yeah, we'll be definitely covering it because it'll be just the 13th, I think, when we cover it. So it'll only be a few days after.
Nice, perfect. All right, moving up to the Poll 77 changes and more. This is the update for this week. They begin this by saying that Gilnor is packing up its Halloween decorations and starting to wrap up warm clothes for the and starting to wrap up warm for the colder months. Why do I keep saying close?
So everyone knows, she's reread this like 3 times. So this is the Pull 77 changes.
No, I want to
and
say it
says,
again.
Gilnor is packing up its Halloween decorations and starting to wrap up warm for the colder months.
Why do I keep saying close?
That's all she had to say.
That's all I had to say. I'm cutting out the other ones.
Yeah,
I wanted to say it again. All right, Pull 77 changes. This is some behind the scenes action here with Bunebape. So last month you voted on our latest quality of life poll, 77th of its name, Destroyer of Inconveniences and Protector of the Realm. If it somehow passed you by, you can find the poll blog in our notes, which we will link to their notes, and you can read the old poll blogs. So let's see the first batch of changes. Demon Hunters will be pleased to see that the drop rate of the Jar of Darkness has been drastically improved from 1 out of 2,500 to 1 out of 200. Those of you looking to flex your Skatizo slaying prowess should find the grind a little more reasonable than before. I actually have a totem saved up that I was like, ooh, I was gonna wait for this update, so I might do that soon.
I was just thinking, it would be kind of cool if they were able to make a distinction between, like, in the collection log of people that got it when it was like such a crazy drop rate.
Put a little star next to it.
Yeah.
Got it when it was insane. In other loot news, we hear the Sandwich Lady's food safety rating is dropping fast. While she'll still offer predominantly fresh homemade sandwiches and chocolate bars, she now has a 1 out of 64 chance of giving you a stale baguette whenever she offers you a baguette. While this is a concerning development for foodies, it should be a win for all the collection loggers out there. Kind of disgusting, may never trust her again.
I mean, a lot of people actually buy stale bread specifically.
For French toast?
French toast, croutons. There's a lot of reasons to use stale bread because stale bread exists.
All right, you're ruining my attitude about this.
And I don't know why you have such an attitude about such a good
thing. Because they had an attitude, so I was making it.
Oh, do you not like bread pudding?
All right. I've only tried it once.
That's embarrassing.
It was okay.
Keep that to yourself next time.
Ever wanted to make an anti-venom plus but accidentally had Zahura turn your huge stack of Torsil to unfinished Torsil potions? Listen, it happened to a friend of ours. Thankfully, that friend of ours will now be able to use those Torsil potions unfinished to make anti-venom plus potions. And of course, they can still use plain old Torsil to do the same. Picture this. You've just unlocked your RD Cloak 1. You're excited to use your handy new teleport for rapid access to a fairy ring to aid you in your adventures. Unfortunately, whichever fairies put the ring there in the first place failed to account for the most complained about tree in old school RuneScape's history. We set those layabouts outside the Tower of Life to work, and they made themselves useful by moving and removing some of the trees around the nearby fairy ring, meaning you'll now be able to access your favorite teleportation method without all those literal extra steps. Handy. We've done some similar foliage rearranging around the Legends Guild fairy ring too. I'm so glad about this. Because on the GIM, I would always use that to teleport, and I hated it.
Oh, on the GIM you play a lot?
I was playing it a lot. I was playing it a lot for a little bit.
Yeah, you played it a lot last week?
No, I was questing a lot whenever it first came out. You know, it's the fairy ring's fault I didn't do it.
Oh, you quit very early on because of the fairy ring.
Why'd you quit?
Because I stopped playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have like double your total level. What are you trying to say here?
I was questing. Anyway. We've got a couple of additions to your POH storage options up next. First off, you can now store your mining gloves in your armor case. Got all 3 types of glove? No problem. The case has space to take all of them at once, saving you up to 3 bank spaces. Secondly, the fish sack barrel is now storable in your magic wardrobe. No longer will space-saving players need to choose between storing their fish sack or upgrading it to a fish sack barrel. It's the best of both worlds. And that about wraps up this week's Poll 77 changes. We hope to have the rest of them sorted by late December, so keep an eye out for more in the coming weeks.
Late December?
Yeah, that's a really long time from now.
I know.
It is November 17th at the time of this recording.
Dang, that's
just
cool.
A cool 6 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's better than, that's kind of what they said they were hoping for is 6 weeks, but I don't know.
Still.
They seem like such small updates. So.
Yeah. Next up is the Quest speedrunning competition. So we are excited to announce a brand new competition for Quest speedrunning enthusiasts. Do you have what it takes to achieve the best global times for Prince Ali Rescue and Beneath Cursed Sands within Quest speedrunning? We'll award 30 glorious days of membership to the top 2 global times that have been achieved by 11 GMT on November 23rd. Membership will be automatically applied after the closing date, and winners will be contacted via their in-game inboxes. Best of luck, and to read the full terms and conditions, you can go check out their post. 30-day full membership doesn't seem like enough to have a global best time for a quest.
Yeah.
I want more than that.
I don't know. It's such a niche community. I feel like they think that they can just offer like practically nothing,
Yeah, sad.
which they usually do anyways.
It's like every time that they do a competition for the screensaver, and there's like, everyone work for us.
Yeah, they're like,
and
all
you
right,
get a gift card.
give us 10 hours of work and we'll pay you $15 for membership, and that's it.
Low-key. Halloween 22 wrap up. After a couple of sugar-filled weeks of trick-or-treating, we're taking this year's spooky Halloween decorations down and putting them in a suitably spider-infested corner of the attic until next year. Unfortunately, it looks like our cleaning efforts haven't been completely thorough, and those meddling, costume-wearing kids left a small cauldron full of their leftover items. If for any reason you're looking to reassemble a terrifying charm, check behind Zaf's superior staffs and rummage around in the smelly socks and rotten food till you find what it is you're looking for. I love that they left that there. That's hilarious. Cool. I do feel bad for whoever came up with the Halloween event because their cauldron did not get as full as it was supposed to. The goal was not met.
Yeah.
It was kind of insane, though, and they didn't boost the candy rates until, like, after Halloween was already done.
Yeah. I feel like they should have artificially increased it during that update.
They should have saw that it wasn't going up fast and been like, let's do a hot fix real quick. Next up is the annual survey prize draw. So a couple weeks ago, we sent around our annual survey, which I forgot to do. These surveys include a whole bunch of questions about what you enjoy doing in OSRS, what you'd like to see us do, and how you feel about some of the things we've been thinking about for the future of OSRS. So as a treat for filling out the surveys, respondents were entered into a big old prize draw, and they have finally drawn all of these winners. There is quite a bit of them. I'm not going to read their names because reading people's names are hilarious.
I wonder what they won.
I'm pretty sure they won Amazon gift cards.
Was it?
I thought it was Amazon gift cards.
Man, that's cool.
So congratulations to all these winners that I'm not going to read your name, sorry. Thanks again to everyone who filled in this year's survey. Next, they go over a little bit of the Winter Summit, which we've already gone over, but they also mention that some of you reading might be familiar with EVscape's Battle Royale. The Battle Royale is an event that pits your favorite content creators against each other in an all-out showdown. This year, for the first time ever, we are officially sponsoring the event. You can check out the official teaser on this blog post and keep your eyes peeled for an epic cinematic trailer on the OSRS YouTube channel in the coming days, made by 2021's best OSRS artist, Golden Gnome winner, Hootie Tootie. So make sure to mark your calendars for December 10th and settle in for an epic battle before tuning into the Winter Summit.
Well, that's cool that it comes out the same day.
I know, right? I heard somebody was talking about the other day how OSRS is sponsoring a lot of content creators' videos now. Like, they had Jimmy do something, too. It's
yeah,
like,
they've had Jimmy
weird.
do a couple things, actually.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, I mean, it's because, I don't know, they kind of do, like, advertising for them anyways, so.
Yeah, but they never really did it that much before.
Yeah.
Is my impression, at least. But moving on, there are some small changes. So, up to a spot of barbarian fishing, you can now use a knife on any type of fish to slowly cut all your fish automatically. You'll still be able to cut the fish at will, similar to cleaning herbs. This shouldn't impact any skilling methods, but if you notice any unusual behavior, please let us know.
I feel like this will break one of the methods, one of the 2 tick or 3 tick methods
you
at
think
barbarian
so?
fishing.
We'll see.
I don't think it will, but I just imagine it will.
I never got that. I always struggled with it. They were like, cut, click, and then I was just like, too much.
I mean, you just explained it.
Okay, but it's harder than it seems.
It's like so hard. Explains it in one sentence.
I don't even know if I'm correct. The combat levels in the Ogre Shaman versus Blue Dragon cutscene during Watchtower Quest have been updated in line with the out of cutscene equivalents. Well spotted. They're probably like level 10 versus level 12.
Level a million.
The makeover voucher previously given to players who completed a recruitment drive is a null item, but a few of you have been left with them lurking in your banks. This week's update has cleaned them out for you. Oh,
that's kind of sad. I wish they should have kept the unobtainable item in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of flex.
Yeah.
There's like this one necklace I remember during a quest, and I remember whenever I read it on the wiki, they were like, you can never get this necklace again. And I was just like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, or there's like recently a video, I forgot who made it, but another YouTuber made it where you could get like shrimps off of Tutorial Island.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Or like you can get like any item off of Tutorial Island, but specifically like shrimps and like a couple other things were special because you could only sell them for 1 GP, which meant that they had a special ID on them. And so like there's a couple of those in the game, and they removed that method. So now
lame.
Those are like kind of rare now.
Keep the special little Easter egg things. It's fun. Next, we're moving on to a merch update. So looking to wrap up warm ahead of the Winter Summit extravaganza? Why not treat yourself to some new merch offerings or add them to your gift list? First up is our Father Gnome Child Christmas jumper. I absolutely love this. It's literally just a gnome child wearing a green Santa hat and has a beard.
Yeah, it's an ugly Christmas sweater.
I love it. A festive gnome child takes center stage during 2022 Christmas jumper, complete with a colorful pattern of party hats, crackers, snowballs, scarves, and Christmas trees. Ho, ho, ho. Perhaps you're somewhere a little warmer this festive season? Don't worry, we've also got some new teas showing off some Gilnore's most popular tourist destinations. Take a nostalgic trip to Lumbridge, scare yourself silly at Draenor Manor, soak in the sun in Karamja, or wrap up warm and fight for your life on White Wolf Mountain. If you fancy warming up with a lovely cup of tea or a more grown-up beverage, we've also got ceramic tankers bearing the Jolly Boar Inn logo. That one's kind of cute, actually.
Yeah, I like the Jolly Boar Inn logo cup a lot, but I kind of don't like at all that on the backside it has like a drink beer option.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it fits on the cup because the tanker's like shaped all uniquely.
Yeah.
And it's like the menu option that you see in game.
If you specifically only use that for beer, then it'd be cool. But if you drink anything else, that's not beer. It seems kind of out of place.
I think it also just looks kind of cheesy compared to the front.
Yeah, I think they because
they should have done two different mugs.
I think the logo for the inn looks really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah,
because I like stuff that looks like it belongs in the game. Like, whenever I see, like, merch stuff or shows or whatever, like, if it's Doctor Who, I don't want a shirt that says Doctor Who. I want a shirt that looks like something they'd wear in Doctor Who or something, you know? So, they kind of ruined my immersion with the back.
Yeah.
But I don't know, some people probably like it. Finishing up, we've got some limited edition Santa pens and party hat keyrings for those feeling festive, and a limited edition Black Knight pen, all from the fantastically talented Angelscapes. As an extra special Black Friday offer, anybody spending £40, €48.46 in the store will receive a black party hat keyring for free while stocks last.
Huge.
Very huge. If you're looking for an early present or perhaps a stocking filler or two, make sure to head over to the store to find out more about all the above and a bunch of other lines we've restocked. And a little bit of our own merch update, actually. One person has already gotten some stuff, and the beanies look so good.
Oh, yeah, they
look so good. And the mug looks really good on the emote side, but on the side with our logo, like, it's like they couldn't pick up the reds very well. So I'm just going to switch that out and just have it say Bunebape only.
Yeah.
But the emote part looks so good. I was considering even just putting the emote on both sides. We'll see.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know what exactly I'm going to do, but I am going to adjust it a little bit. We have ours on the way, too, so I will be posting on Discord and Twitter and everything and being really annoying once we get them.
Yeah. And for anyone that cares, the PvP arena has changed to the Zerker loadout.
Thank you. I always miss that part. But yeah, that is going to be it for this week's updates.
But there is one more blog to go over, and this is a mysterious quest, the boss rewards. So for anyone wondering what this is about, there was a quest, the mysterious quest, the other week that was announced saying that there was going to be a repeatable boss.
That you actually complained about a little bit, like why pull and not say anything else.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately the complaints kind of continue this week because they do try to resolve that, but it doesn't really work. But either way, we'll get into it. There has been 2 revisions on this poll blog already, one on the 15th and one on the 17th. So we'll go over that after I'm done talking about the initial poll blog.
And this actually came out the day after we recorded the podcast last week.
It did.
I remember thinking about it too, because you were talking about how it's lame to do the not share more detail, and then right after we recorded, they were like, we're sharing a little bit more detail, and I was like, come on, you guys.
Yeah, very slightly more detail. So
yeah,
I don't even feel bad about it.
Doesn't even take that back.
So they start off by saying that, as you no doubt remember, we recently released our first poll under the new polling strategy, and we're pleased to announce that everything passed. From your feedback, it's clear that you like more mysterious approaches, but you still want to hear all the juicy details about the rewards and the like once the initial poll has passed. And so this is going to be the rewards for the repeatable boss, similar to how Vorkath is. Obviously, you do it for the quest, and then you do it again if you want money.
And probably pet. Ooh, that's, probably another pet in the game then.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh.
They say that, well, that time has arrived. So let's take a peek at the rewards you can obtain for the mysterious phantom boss you'll unlock at the end of, and then I don't know if this is the actual name of the quest, but they do have it redacted. So if this is going to spoil it for you, this might be the name of the quest. It's called an even smaller favor.
I doubt it's actually the name. I feel like it's a hint.
Maybe. Who
I
knows?
don't know.
They do say that this is the first reward poll we've done since the new polling changes went live. Admittedly, we already did have designs in mind, so we're not following the new process exactly. It's going to take us a bit of time to adjust to the new process ourselves internally.
It's going to take a long time.
I definitely agree, because this is not the best rollout. This will mean you can have more say on what type of rewards are being offered. For now, though, we'd like to know how you feel about the following rewards. Take a look and let us know. So this one is going to be, they do say that be aware that some of these items could identify the mysterious quest. So again, if you are trying to keep this as secret as possible, these are going to maybe spoil it for you because these are all the rewards.
But they do try to change it up a little bit so it's not too obvious, they say.
Yeah. So the first item is called Phantom Essence. This is going to be tradable. It's a magical energy is left behind when the Phantom boss is defeated, and you'll be using it to upgrade existing items into something more powerful. Essentially, this is the core of the boss, so it'll drop consistently every time you defeat it. Kind of seems like it's going to be their bones equivalent.
Yeah.
But it can be used to upgrade stuff, and we'll get into what that is later.
And they don't say essentially, they say essentially. Get it? It's an essence.
Glad we were made aware of
I want to
that.
make sure we didn't forget that.
But the main goodies for this is going to be the next item, which is going to be the blood letter shards and bow. So this is going to be a new bow that's being introduced into the game. And a lot of you might think that if you have been keeping up to date with the updates, that this seems like a familiar design, and we'll talk about why later.
Okay.
The blood letter shards are tradable. They're broken fragments of a forgotten weapon left behind by a powerful individual. You can break these down into Phantom Essence or combine them to rebuild the epic Bloodletter Bow, a new tradable weapon. These bows were used by the Bloodletters, hunters, and scouts from Gilnor's far history, who wielded ranged weapons imbued with powerful magic. It is going to have a very high requirement of 80 ranged, which is, maxed, so there's no other higher requirement.
Make something 99.
It's going to have 25 range strength, which I think is pretty low, with 90 ranged attack. I think it's going to be a 5-tick weapon with a 6 attack range. And then I think it's going to be 4-tick with a special and 8 with a special as far as range goes. Either way, though, it is going to be a slower weapon with a little bit less power, but decent accuracy. Actually, everything seemed kind of low in my opinion for the requirements. That is.
I wonder if they'll make it better.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What's the word? Buff it.
Yeah, buff it. Yeah, I think they'll have to see after they test it, hopefully, but we'll see. It does have a very niche and unique special attack. So the cool thing about the Bloodletter Bow is that it can hit up to 3 targets with a single shot. And this is just a passive special effect. So this is not like something you have to activate. There is no special attack. It only has a special effect. Once the initial attack hits an NPC, the bow will try to fire another arrow into a nearby target, dealing 66% of the original damage. Then the attack will bounce again, either to the original target or to a third nearby.
Ooh.
Remember that numbers in old school almost always round down, meaning that if you hit a 30 on your initial target, any bounces will deal 19. So 66% of 30 is 19.8%. So it'll round down to 19, not up to 20. And
who rounds like that? If you're a point, who is down?
Yeah, that's how that happens. Bouncing arrows will only hit targets in a range of 2 squares from the target's center tile. And they do actually have, so they do say that compare this to Chinchampas, which only hit a 3x3 and only hit 1 NPC within the same range. So this, technically is another AoE weapon, but it is very niche because it'll only hit enemies that are 2 away. And I'm not going to get into exactly how that works with 3 tile, 2 tile, and 1 tile
They
enemies.
put some pictures for you to see.
They do have
that explain it better.
They do have separate pictures that explain what it'll look like if you are fighting 1x1 enemies, 2x2, and 3x3. A really easy one is if you are fighting large monsters like 3x3 lizardmen shamans. it'll only hit one ever. It'll never
Mm-hmm.
ever hit two, just because they're always more than 2 tiles away. And for a good frame of reference for 2x2 enemies, which are the most complicated probably, is that their center of attack is technically in the top right square of their bodies.
I didn't know that.
So obviously, a 2x2 enemy has no center tile because they're on 4 tiles. There's no center.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's going to be on their top right. So if there's enemies close to them that it might bounce to, it would have to be near their top right. It can't be near the bottom left. So make sure you're paying attention to where you're lining up enemies if you are using this bow against 2x2 tiled enemies.
Awesome.
And if any of that confused you, again, take a look at the pictures. They have them that explain it pretty well on their blog that we're talking about right now. So I am skipping over a lot of the math and all the stuff that I went over, just summarized pretty much 7 paragraphs of how they tried to explain how the attacks and bouncing work. But
I would really recommend going and looking at pictures because that explains it way better than any of the typing does. The typing just confused me.
yeah, essentially, it's really easy for 1x1 enemies as long as the original enemy is within 2 squares of the person near them, then it'll bounce to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty easy. As far as the bow goes, it can be charged with Phantom Essence, we've mentioned earlier, so another charged weapon, and it'll require those charges to fire the additional arrows. If you're all out of essence, you can still use it uncharged to fire a normal amount of arrows.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty much a really normal basic bow if you are not using it charged. And if you are using it charged, then again, it can bounce.
You still have to use your own arrows for everything, it seems like.
Yeah,
Okay,
you'll still
gotcha.
use your own arrows. You'll still use like dragon arrows or whatever.
Okay.
And they do have a chart showing, of course, their infamous charts on
Their
how
DPS and
how
stuff.
effective the bow is against certain mobs, and so they have like Zuck on here and Lizardman Shamans and stuff like that. But it's kind of funny because this bow is like one of the lowest DPS bows in the game.
Really?
Yeah, so as you can see here, they have it actually even below a magic shortbow DPS, which is the orange line if you're looking at the graph, and then right below it is the green line, which would be the bloodletter bow using dragon arrows.
What's really tricky is that they have it as bloodletter. They have as bloodletter bow dragon, bloodletter bow 2 hits dragon, and then 3 hits dragon. It's just like, I hate these charts so bad.
Yeah. I was kind of, I still am kind of concerned with how low the DPS is, considering the magic shortbow is one of the most prevalent weapons in the game
Mm-hmm.
and one of the easiest to get, and it's extremely cheap, and it actually also has a special attack that's one of the better special attacks in the game, at least for PvP especially. So obviously this isn't a PvP weapon, but yeah, thought it was kind of funny how low the DPS is in every regard, except for if you are in one of those niche situations where there are 2 enemies and the arrow can bounce back and forth, then technically you're hitting the main target twice, which means you are doing more damage.
I feel like it'll be really good for some Slayer tasks, though.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are, it's funny because I can't really think of any situation where this would be the case, because it would have to be either a 1-tile enemy or a 2-tile enemy. So all the boss enemies they have on this chart are out of the question. So they have Lizardman Shamans,
The mage from Fight Caves.
Zuck, like all these enemies, Sarachnis, all these enemies are not viable for getting hit twice. So I thought that was kind of ironic that they used all of them on this
Yeah,
chart.
they use all these big ones.
But yeah, so it's kind of weird. Let us know if you know of any particular mobs or especially bosses that you could actually hit twice.
I had an idea for it for the place that you go for chinning in the Monkey Madness cave.
Yeah.
Just go and do that there, because if you're an iron and you don't want to go and get chinchompas, that could be an alternate potentially.
Yeah,
Or to save money.
Depending on how easy this boss is to farm, it might be more desirable for certain Iron Men to get than Chinchompas. Although, obviously, Chinchompas are pretty AFK to get if you want to get up your hunter.
Yeah, but if you're like hardcore and you want something really powerful, you don't want to go to the wilderness. This could work.
Yeah.
But it's also still a boss, so we'll see.
Yeah, it is still a boss, so we don't know how difficult it'll be. Either way, though, yeah. So overall, my main problem with this bow, before we even finish this actual poll is, or this actual blog, is that the DPS just seems really, really low, and I really wish that they made it so it was one-handed, so you could use a shield, because then obviously you'd get more DPS out of the extra strength. So I don't know if it doesn't seem like they want to change it, but the DPS just seems really low, especially for the requirements.
Yeah, this is our thoughts before we read the 2 separate updates that they've had since then. Feedback.
Yeah. That being said, I do not. After reading the updates, I don't think my opinion changes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unless, like I said, there is like a super niche like thing that I'm not thinking of. But again, it on this chart it does less damage than the short bow, which is easier to get and has a lower requirement. But finishing up this blog, it does say that the Bloodletter Bow damage is comparable to the Toxic Blowpipe with Dragon Darts or the Twisted Bow with Dragon Arrows if you hit your primary target twice. So that's the big asterisk, if you hit your primary target twice. If not, then it is significantly worse.
Real bad.
Yeah. If you do factor, and this also, of course, doesn't factor into the DPS of you hitting the second target. Yeah. So if you do factor that into the extra DPS, then the Bloodletter Bow becomes significantly better in terms of raw damage, but of course that's a big if. So the first question is going to be, should the Bloodletter Bow be put into the game? It excels at multiple targets and be added as a drop for the new mysterious new solo boss. And poll question 2 is actually a new question that they added after the updates that we're going to go over in a second. And it's to keep it as a bow, change it to a thrown weapon, which I actually think would be really cool, because then, of course, you can use a shield.
But then I think it would just be like Chinchompas.
It would be like Chinchompas, but I guess more niche.
Yeah. I mean, you'd also be working on combat stats, grinding for it, rather than working on Hunter.
Yeah, it would also do more single target damage than Chinchompas by a lot.
That's true, okay.
And or the third option is you can change it to a ballista.
Cool.
But that's it for the bow. There is other stuff that we're going to go over, so just keep that in mind. But that was all for just the bow. So the next item on the list is going to be the Soul Blight Icon and Scepter. So this is actually a pretty cool, or interesting at least, idea for an updated Ancient Magics item.
Oh.
So on to our next deadly duo, the Soul Blight Icon and Scepter. The Soul Blight Icon is an untradeable magic artifact that's absolutely brimming with potential power. Take it to a specific NPC and you'll be able to combine it with the Ancient Staff, creating the Soul Blight Scepter. So essentially this is all leading to you getting a new staff. And of course, I'm guessing you have to have Desert Treasure done because it's the Ancient Staff. This is an untradeable weapon that's designed to sit between the Ancient Staff and the Kodai Wand. So I think as far as that goes, that's a really good option because there's not really a good in-between.
Yeah, there's the Master Wand. We have to do a lot of Mage Arena training for that.
Oh god, yes. I still have not done that, and I don't know if I ever will. Not only does it provide an extra 5% magic bonus strength, so immediately it's just better than the Ancient Staff, it also buffs the effects of all ancient magics by 10%. This means that you'll get 10% more healing from blood magic. Ice magic will make it so that these spells last 10% longer. And for shadow magic, it makes it so that the stat drain is 10% more effective. And finally, for smoke, the poison value on the spells, poison effects, will be increased by 10%.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it pretty much just makes all the ancient stuff 10% better. So it seems like
sounds really nice.
It's gonna be overall seemingly pretty nice, especially I'm guessing for PvP, 10% more or longer freeze duration might make a bit of a difference.
Never mind, it's bad.
And the requirements are fairly high, 70 magic and 60 strength.
Okay.
Overall, it does seem pretty good. It does have crazy high strength bonus. It gives you 60 melee strength.
Wow.
Which is very high. -1 prayer, unfortunately. 5 range strength for some reason, and 5% magic strength, which is really, really nice on a 4-tick weapon. So And the poll question is, should this be added? I think it seems pretty good. A lot of people
I
were
like it.
complaining that it's not strong enough, but I think it's a really good compromise, and it's just straight up a better version of the ancient staff.
I agree.
So moving on to the next item, which is going to be the saturated heart. So some rewards make your heart leap out of your chest, and this reward is someone else's heart.
Oh my
Delightfully.
god.
Using a number of the phantom essence we talked about earlier on an imbued heart will transform it into the saturated heart, absolutely dripping with magical energy. Aside from being super gross, the saturated heart buffs magic by 4 plus 10% of the player's base magic level, rounded down, of course. Although a saturated heart will share a cooldown with the imbued heart, so you won't be able to abuse it in that way.
Okay.
And for poll questions number 4 and 5, it's going to be should this item be the upgraded version of the imbued heart? Should it be in the game?
Yes.
And 5 is if it is in the game, should it be given the divine potion effect? A lot of people felt that
I
it
like this.
should add the divine potion effect because it'll be a trade-off between getting the boosted version and the non-boosted version. This would prevent natural stat drain during the duration as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be even better.
I like that.
Yeah, so those are the two questions. And like you are saying, a lot of people did like that as well. Magister's Brew. So this is a brand new potion. Just like the Saturated Heart, the Magister's Brew is created by adding Phantom Essence to an Ancient Brew, which is a brew that I've actually never drank in the game. I had to look it up. Apparently, it is a very good magic potion. It just gives you an Ancient Brew would normally give you 2 magic levels plus 5% of your base magic.
Nice.
As well as restoring prayer equal to 2 plus 10% of your base prayer level.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I've never used these.
I haven't used it either, actually.
Yeah, seems kind of crazy, but they're not that expensive either, like 900 gold from
I
what
have
I
an
saw.
imbued heart, so I think I just never even thought about anything else.
Yeah, but the new item, the Magister's Brew, is going to be just a little bit better.
Okay.
So it's going to boost the player's magic by 3 plus 8%, and that is as opposed to the 2 plus 5%, so a little bit better, as well as restore your prayer by the same amount, 2 plus 10%. But the bad thing about this potion that probably the reason why we've never used it is it actually also drains your stats. So both potions will still drain the player's attack, strength, and defense by 2 plus 10% of your levels. So drink responsibly.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah. It will require 91 herb lore to make and give you 145 experience. So
that's really high herb lore.
Yeah. So for your question, it's whether that should be in the game. And moving on, they say that's all for this mysterious entity has to offer. So that's all the rewards. So make sure to check them out and vote on them whenever the time does come. So now we want to hear from you. Tell us what you think of the new rewards and whether you'd like to see them in game. We'd also like to add that due to Mod Sarni disappearance, question 6 from the previous Combat Achievements expansion rewards was missed. So they added it here. So this extra poll question 7 isn't really related to anything here, but they had to throw it in because
they just forgot to put in the poll?
They forgot it.
That's funny.
But it's should we improve the Like a Boss bonuses and God Wars kill count reduction rewards currently offered from Combat Achievements? So this is something we went over a couple weeks ago.
That's funny. They just forgot to put in the poll.
Yeah. But that is going to be all the items. So you have the new potion, the new saturated heart,
and the bow,
the staff, as well as the bow.
I already forgot about the staff, to be honest.
Yeah. So not a ton, or of course also Phantom Essence, and
it's kind of like Zolra Scale, how it is.
It is like
using
kind of like Zolra Scales, or something like that. And so there's a lot of like technical stuff to go over. So again, if any of this confused you, then make sure to go check it out. I guess the actual blog.
Yeah, there's already been 2 updates with feedback.
Yeah, like I said at the top of this, there were already 2 updates, one on the 15th and one on the 17th, because there was a lot of feedback and a lot of questions, which I think were rightfully so because, there's just a lot of stuff that was unanswered and kind of weird about this.
It's mysterious.
But we'll go over the first one that was added on the 15th. So they say that, thanks for all your feedback regarding the rewards we're offering from the Phantom Boss in our mysterious upcoming quest. First up, we hear your comments about the Saturated Heart and Magister's Brew offering the same buff. So originally they offered the same exact buff.
That's fine.
In response, they reduced the effect of the brew. Now it is worse than the heart, which does make sense. The heart's way more rare.
So the brew was supposed to be actually 4 plus 10%.
Yeah, so now it's 3 plus 8. We also considered giving the Saturated Heart the Divine Potion effect, but of course now it is part of the blog, so that's something that's changed. They also do respond to a lot of people wondering why there's another ranged weapon and why it's a bow specifically.
For fun.
Obviously, we've had a lot of ranged gear and stuff like that, but they do counter by saying, actually, that just seems that way. A lot of people were saying that they feel like there was too much ranged item recently in the game, especially because of the Bow of Ferdinand, as well as the Masori armor. But if you actually look at it, there's been more melee updates in the past year because of Torva, the Ancient God Sword, the Kara's Partisan.
I was thinking, like, I mean, every time that there's new stuff out to the game, they're like, you're adding too much of this stuff. I'm like, do you want them to never add anything to the game again?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's
also
fairly even. They need to have more mage like armor though.
they actually address that. They say they already introduced the Tunic and Shadow and the Elidnus Ward, which are 2 best in slot items.
Mm-hmm.
So they have been adding stuff. It just seems like a lot of bow stuff.
Next year, I hope that there's a new upgrade from Ancestral because now we have Torva and Masori. We need a new Ancestral.
Yeah, maybe. But they do like seeing a lot of people posting alternative designs for the Bloodletter bow. And they're keen to try new approaches in the future, but they're going to be sticking with this one for now. Also, a lot of people are wondering why this is another charged weapon, which I think is rightfully questioning because obviously the Shadow is also a charged weapon.
Yeah. There's a lot of charged weapons. Sanguinesti too. That's what I use.
Yeah, Sanguinesti, of course. The Bow of Ferdinand, if you don't get it corrupted, is also charged. So we totally see where players are coming from, and we've got plenty of charged weapons in the game already. And sometimes the time sink to maintain them isn't really a fun experience. And I'll sum up saying that they essentially don't want it to be like the Bow of Ferdinand, where essentially you don't need to maintain it because you just, by the time you get the bow, you'll have so many shards it doesn't really matter. And also they don't want it to be like the Scythe of Viter. Obviously, it takes way longer to get the necessary amount of blood runes to use the Scythe than it takes to get the blood runes. Like, it just...
You're not getting as much charges per minute, basically.
The runes practically disappear on the Scythe as soon as you get them.
I'm not iron for that.
Yeah, it's awful. And so they're trying to walk the line of... They don't really say why they made it a charged weapon. They just say they're hoping to walk the line of it being tedious and it being easy to charge. So they hope that it's not annoying.
You know, a side note, because they even say that the amount of blood runes that you get in an hour is not enough to use the Scythe for an hour. And I'm
not
like,
even close.
Why don't you fix the charges on that? You're admitting that that's like, doesn't really make sense.
It's like 20 or 30 minutes. It's like half as much.
They should like just fix that.
Yeah. And the next question is, how does the Bloodletter Bow's bounce affect? And like I said, I already went over that, and they introduced more pictures after this update, so you can really get a good picture of it. Once a target is selected, how is damage rolled on the Bloodletter's bow? So they have an example here. It says, if your max hit is 40 and you hit a 40 on the first target, target A, the arrow bounces to target B and misses, for example. And the arrow bounces to target C and hits, dealing 26. And since the damage for these rolls is capped at 66%, the 26 would be a max hit. And if the target B had been hit instead of missed, target B would also would have been dealt damage, rolling between 0 and 26. So
it's just 66% of your max hit.
Yeah, so technically in this instance, if you had a max of 40, it could have hit 40, 26, 26.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and also make sure to keep in mind that the second 26 could have been a bounce to that same primary target again. So you'd get 66 on the main target and 26 on the secondary.
Could be huge.
Could be a really big deal if asterisk, if it works that way.
Yes.
Or if you can find a target that works that way, rather. So that's it for the November 15th add-ons, but there is more November 17th add-ons.
A couple of which you kind of combined with the 15th, though.
Yeah, because they did go back and recount some of the stuff they said previously, so I kind of tried to keep it shorter.
Yeah.
They do say that they wanted to thank you again for the feedback on the Phantom Boss rewards. and they wanted to address some more points, kind of like they just did on the 15th. First of all, we'd like to talk about how your feedback has been handled. We've seen many comments around how we've not made any changes, even though it seems like there are some obvious ones we could have chosen to proceed with. We like that this is a twofold issue. On one hand, we've done a poor job of setting the scene for the Phantom Boss. This is one of my main problems, is that they kind of, their ambiguity around this entire situation and how they're not really doing it the way they said they would do polls in the future,
Mm-hmm.
I think is making this a lot more annoying than it needs to be. And
Like, we don't even know how hard this boss is gonna be. Is it gonna make Vorkath, or is it gonna be like Obor?
yeah, like one, they haven't like told us anything about the quest, anything about the boss. These random items that just are here now, seemingly like dead on arrival because almost no one's going to use a lot of these items. I mean, obviously it'll be cool to upgrade your saturated heart or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of seems like a really weird way to go about it, considering they just said they wanted to be as transparent as possible, and then not do that immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, they go on and say that this has caused a fair amount of confusion and something we're most certainly keeping in mind for future content pitches. On the other hand, we're still transitioning from our previous polling approach to our newly announced way of handling content. As mentioned already in this blog, this is the first reward poll we've done since the changes went live. Admittedly, we did already have designs in mind, so we're not following the new process exactly. Rest assured that our approach will be much more in line with the new polling changes for content we're announcing during the Winter Summit. So I guess that's kind of nice and reassuring, but definitely a rough start. So what should you expect from this Phantom Boss? Given it's coming from a master level quest, we're not looking at Inferno level difficulty. We think a fair comparison is slightly more mechanical version of Vorkath, but with lower stats. You might have to focus a little more, but you'll be able to shred through the boss much easier than you can against the beastie Blue Boy. For the quest variant of the Phantom Boss, we're aiming for it to be bested by players with a combat level of around 85. As for the post-quest version, you'll likely want to have at least 95 combat, though the higher level, you're going to have a better time. So as far as the Bloodletter bow goes, they do say that they hope that the details above will help clarify why the bow has changed slightly in power level since a similar version was offered from Nex. So that's why this seems so familiar, is because this is the actual Zerite bow and its original design.
Oh.
So if you go back and if you remember before they changed what the Zerite bow special attack did, this was actually what the special attack was.
That's hilarious. I didn't remember.
Yeah. And so they say why we're not looking to introduce unnecessary power creep, given it comes from what will be a relatively accessible and farmable boss. So maybe that's why they don't want it to be a really good bow.
No, that's fair.
The bow is not meant to be competing with the Twisted Bow or the Zerite. It's intended to fill a niche of being able to hit multiple targets with heightened accuracy, whilst offering a different approach from Chinchampa's. So, and also they'd hope it'd be a fun weapon. Aside from the perceived power of the bow, we'd like to touch back on the why bow though point many of you have raised. Whilst we like a bow is better suited to the specific content, we understand how it does feel overly community-centric for us to be dictating that. As a result, we're going to be offering a variety of alternative ranged options. So that's where the throwing knives and stuff like that came in.
Ballista!
Yeah, and the ballista. So if, again, that's why it was introduced as maybe a throwing weapon or a ballista. So make sure to vote on that if you are tired of bows. Moving on to the Soulblight Scepter. So many of the comments we've seen surrounding the scepter are that the effects are too weak and almost pointless to be offering. Again, with the above details in mind, we hope this explains our reasoning for not wanting to make it too strong. Whilst increasing effects of all ancient magic by 10% might not be so powerful on its own, it's important to remember that the scepter also rewards a hefty 5% magic strength bonus. So it's just straight up better in every single way.
That's funny because I was actually thinking it seems really good.
Yeah, I was also kind of confused on this because it just seems like a straight up upgrade.
It's probably people who have the Kodai who are like, this isn't a new best in slot.
Yeah, I guess so. I think the people that are already, doing PvP and max don't really care about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Should it pass the polls, it's important to note that this isn't the last you'll hear about the Soulblight Scepter. We know we're being overly elusive with this one, but we'll have more to share during the summer summit, or the winter summit rather. And the final thing they wanted to update us on was the saturated heart. We've seen your desire for the saturated heart to have the divine potion effect, which I mentioned earlier. Whilst we prefer it come from other content in the future, we feel like we can make it work with this update. As such, we'll be offering it as an additional poll question. So that's what I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
That's all we'd like to cover for now. We hope that this has helped quash some of your concerns you've raised. As always, please let us know what you think about by leaving feedback. So that's it. Hopefully, 2 updates on a single blog post about rewards is seemingly unnecessary, but also the weird, obscure nature they went about introducing those rewards and the boss in general is also unnecessary. So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited for the staff if that passes. I think potentially that'd be better than the Master Wand, so I'd like that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to buy a code. I'm cheap.
Overall, even though the bow's not my favorite, I do think all the items are pretty cool.
I agree.
So I do hope all of it passes. And yeah, overall, it'll be really niche. It's going to take a while for me to find a particularly useful place for this bow. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure some people will like quickly find like metas that it works really well for.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a couple places that it's just like insane.
But I bet.
Yeah. Either way, also it's another new boss to farm, and they did not pull a new pet, so I'm not sure if a new pet will be coming with this boss.
Yeah, I hope so though.
But either way, so it's pretty cool. New boss, new quest, and new rewards.
I don't know if they normally pull pets. I feel like they usually just add them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do.
I don't remember. We'll see.
I don't think they do. I don't think they did it for TOA.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. But moving on to the questions that we have.
Yeah. So our first question is from Matt on Instagram. This is actually not even really a question for you, I guess. In spite of Rob's absence from OSRS, what would you most miss about OSRS if you took 1 week off, 1 month, and quit forever? For Matt, in 1 week, I'd miss my friends. In 1 month, I'd miss leveling up. I've never played a game where increasing a level is as satisfying. Quitting forever, I'd most miss the sounds, both the music as well as any other famous OSRS sounds like cooking food, ice barrage, banking, etc. For me, 1 week off, I think I would miss raiding. I don't know. We're going to see because I am going to take a week off actually.
Yep.
I might play a little bit like on our trip, but probably not much. I don't feel like I'd miss too much in a week because I've taken a week off before and it's been fine.
Yeah, it's not that long.
A month off, I do think I'd miss playing with friends because I do play with people on stream a lot or like on Discord a lot, and I have a lot of fun with that. I'd also, like Matt said, I would miss leveling up because it is such a satisfying feeling in this game to level things up.
Yeah.
Quitting forever, I would miss just like the feeling of accomplishment in this game because there's so much to do, like collection log, achievement quest cape, just all this stuff, like so many things to work on. I would miss having like goals in games to reach for because other games you have goals but you can finish them in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This game, it's like the goals take years. I think I would miss having a game with goals like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like
would you miss anything if you wouldn't stop forever?
No, this is kind of an interesting question because the way I look at it is I've played so many games that I've quit just as many, obviously. And it's kind of like playing with any toys when you were younger. You don't miss them when you're done playing with them. You reminisce on them.
And then idealize them a little bit.
Yeah, but you don't miss them.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really good example for me is when I was really young. There's this Korean game. You can actually still play it now. It's called Ragnarok Online. It's a really fun game. It's a really interesting art style. Some of the best music of any video game I've ever played. Has really cool abilities. There's like some like spirit bomb abilities that would cover your whole screen with like the name of it because it was so cool.
Nice.
Really, really fun time. And I almost played it pretty much by myself. So I was just like having fun by myself. And I don't miss that game. I think about it. I hear the song sometimes.
Think about it fondly.
I get reminiscent, but I don't ever think, man, I really miss that. Like when I think of missing something, like when I miss my family, like it actually like I have like feelings that
You don't
are
really feel
like
that for games.
no, I don't really ever think of that way towards games. Like I don't like need that game back in my life.
Confirmed, he's not a gamer.
It's just like oh, it's just like a toy. Like it comes and goes. It's you remember the good times, but that's it.
Sometimes I think about RuneScape and like all the stuff I want to do, and it makes like I almost have like a yearning to go and play. So I feel like that you don't have.
N-
You just think of it and you're like, yeah, it was a cool time.
No, I get addicted to games and I think about them. I like if I'm addicted to a game, I'll go and like think about it while at work and just like
Mm-hmm.
what the whole day, but I don't like miss it
Yeah.
per se.
Okay. Interesting. All right, moving on, we have a question from Harger, and this is inspired by one of his favorite video games of all time, which is Call of Duty World of War, which comes with the famous zombie mode.
It's World at War.
World at War, which comes with the famous zombie mode. So, theoretically, Jagex decides to implement their first zombie world. This is accessible via an underground lobby in the Hair of the Dog Tavern in Canvas. There are portals to individual rooms in which you select which location you want to defend against never-ending waves of zombies. Within each portal, you select a team, maximum of 4 players, or you can go solo. The waves get increasingly harder, both because zombies are higher level, but also because not only ordinary human NPC zombies, but also other races NPC zombies like dragons, elves, trolls, etc. start to arrive to attack. It is to note that the first waves always include the famous NPCs from the area. For example, in Lumbridge, Bob comes out to fight with an axe. The first zombie portals are released in a map pack of 4, Lumbridge Castle, Grand Tree, Forsaken Tower, and Narda. They plan to release a new map pack each season as long as the game mode remains popular. So the questions are, 1, what are your thoughts on this game mode? And 2, what maps would you like to see in the map pack 2? I think it sounds fun.
Yeah, I need to start off by saying that Michelle doesn't get any of these references.
No, I actually do because people have been talking about this on stream. Unholy was just talking about this the other day, and I was like, it's never ending? Like, I don't get it. And they're like, yeah, it's never ending.
Yeah. Yeah, so Call of Duty World at War was the first one that introduced zombies, and now plenty of people buy Call of Duties just for the zombies.
That's the only way I'd want to play, probably.
But yeah, it's funny because yeah, all these things that they're referencing is like exactly how it happened in the first one. Is they would come out with a map pack, and
That's
then you'd have
cool.
to buy more map packs if you wanted the newer maps.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun.
I like the idea. I wouldn't want it to cost around money, though.
Yeah.
I would want to just be like a mini game, I guess. I think I would imagine that they'd have like little fashionscape rewards too, depending how far you can get in the waves.
Yeah, the
I like
only
it.
literally the only rewards you got from zombies in any of the games, I think. I mean, I didn't play all of them, but in the ones that I did play, it was just like clout. Like being like, oh, I reached level. If you reached like level 50 or something, you were like a savage. Like you played that game a lot.
Yeah.
But
But I
yeah.
would expect little fashionscape things in RuneScape. Like, come on.
Also, like obviously, as the games got like sweatier and sweatier, the people became like they came out with like the most craziest strategies where you would just pretty much run a train on the zombies where you just run around in circles until like all of the zombies were grouped up, and then you would just like turn around and like nuke all of
Oh
them
my
with like
gosh.
certain special weapons. There's like
Chinchompas if his RuneScape.
yeah, exactly. Like there was like alien guns or like buffs that would just kill everything on the
Hey,
map.
this game mode sounds like it'd be really good with the new bow, probably.
Yeah,
Just
maybe.
bouncing on all the zombies.
Yeah. And like if you're trying to really be efficient about it, you would only use your knife for like the first
Oh,
3
no.
rounds because you didn't want to run out of ammo or whatever. Yeah.
Would
really.
you want to see that in RuneScape, though?
I mean, I think it's kind of just like any survival wave-based survival type of thing.
But
So
we don't have guns in this game, so you have to go with that in mind.
no, yeah, I think it'd be cool where like in this game mode, I know you don't know how it works, but like the guns are just on the wall, and as you unlock new areas of the map, new guns get revealed on the walls.
Oh.
And so you'd have to go up and buy the guns off the wall, or there's like a box that'll summon a random weapon for you.
And it with the twisted bow.
Yeah, so that'd be cool if there's like a box with like random weapons, and it would be like, all right, you get a like something ridiculous, like a club or something, like Obor's mace.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, which would be like, oh, this sucks. It's not nearly as good as Zerite or whatever.
You get the ham joint.
Yeah, and sometimes that's how it works.
What would you want to see in the map pack 2? I know One I'd really want to see actually would be Daenerys. I think that'd be hilarious. All these like fairy zombies flying towards you.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Were you really?
I was thinking of how it'd be funny to be like the fairy version. So it'd be like gnomes, the fairies, like
Elves.
yeah, maybe elves, and then like I don't know, maybe like Puro and like all
Puro
these like
Puro, the Imps are all zombies.
yeah, all these
oh my
like
God.
random fairy creatures are like
I would love
zombies.
that.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That'd be great. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously, somewhere in like the Moritania swamp. That'd be awesome as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that'd be cool.
But for more silly reasons, I want to see Daenerys. Our final question is from Ivor, confronting Robert and myself, but mostly you, I think. Why do you hate eating food 4-day weekends and making hand turkeys in art class? So we're causing a lot of controversy on our thoughts on Thanksgiving, apparently.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's the worst.
So,
let me start off by saying
why
that.
do you hate eating food 4-day weekends and making hand turkeys in art class, Robert?
Oh, easily. I can answer this without even thinking about it.
Okay.
So the first one, I'll address it in order. Why do you hate eating food? I don't hate eating food. I hate eating such gratuitous amounts of food that is not even that good. So
yeah, if it's gonna be gratuitous, make it good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool because like if you're Italian, you get like a bunch of like seafood because they do fish dishes for Italians. But besides that, I don't know about you, but turkey's not that good. I didn't really ever like any of the sides. They're all made in the most, disgusting way, in my opinion.
I would only eat rolls with turkey and sparkling cider. That's all I did as a child.
Yeah, I was just like always like, all right, cool, mashed potatoes is fine. But then they're like, all right, green beans, cover it in everything that's not green beans. I'm like, can I just have some vegetables? Or they're like carrots covered in sugar. I'm like, all right,
I
dude.
hate carrots, honestly.
But yeah, ridiculous concept. 4-day weekends is cool. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't hate 4-day weekends, but also I don't think you need 4 days to eat food. On top of that, they say making hand turkeys in art class is dumb because that'd be the same as like, I don't know, there's no other holidays where you celebrate killing an animal. So it's hard to, that'd be the same as if on Christmas you killed Santa every year and you would make Santa pictures. Like it's just,
it's kind of funny that we go and make all these fake turkeys and then we're like, I'm gonna kill and eat you.
They're like hyping up these turkeys. They're like, look how cool they are. They're the same shape as your hand. And also we're gonna cut off 1 million of their heads this year. It's like, all right, kind of a weird concept.
Is that your vegan argument or weird argument anyway?
No, just
I feel like it's weird anyway.
It's a weird concept. Even if I wasn't, it's like we don't like celebrate killing like a bajillion cows and call it Cow Day or something.
Cow Day.
Like it's a thing that happens, but it's like weird to celebrate it.
I would like to answer, I don't like hate Thanksgiving. I just think that Thanksgiving is boring. And it's the worst holiday compared to other holidays. Doesn't mean it's like the worst day of the year. But I was talking to Ivor about this on stream. For me, at least, Thanksgiving, we'd eat the same exact foods as Christmas.
Yeah.
The same amounts of food as Christmas.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, it's Christmas without the festive feelings and presents.
Yeah, that happened for us too.
It's just like the off-brand Christmas.
It's like, all right, cool. We're just going to eat all these crazy amounts of food and watch these people slam their heads into each other on TV because I love watching football, said no one. And then hang out with family that we don't like hanging out with. It's like,
maybe Robert and I just have
know.
issues with our families, and that's our issue. Thanksgiving. Who knows?
There's so many. That's just one of the many issues with Thanksgiving. So.
Yeah. For me, it's just like inferior Christmas.
I mean, if you like it, it's fine. I mean, there's people that like, Valentine's Day too.
I think Valentine's Day is better than Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, they're both really stupid, and I don't think less of you for liking it, but I just cannot understand it.
All right, that is with that hot take of a question. That's our hot fire question. That's the end of our episode. What are you going to be doing this week?
I'm going to be
going to the Netherlands, maybe. Well, that's next week.
Yeah, I was like,
darn it!
Are you crazy?
Fine, I'll say the same joke next week.
Okay, but yeah, not much is going to be going on. I'm going to be playing some video games that aren't RuneScape like I usually do.
Fair.
And yeah, that's about it. What about you?
I'm going to be doing raids, and I'm going to get my thieving up for Arc Rain. I'm going to do it for you, Arc. I don't even know if you listen to the podcast, but this is for you.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Yeah, that is my main goal.
All right.
And to get over my fear of flying before next week.
Cool.
We'll see about that.
Yep. All right, so that's gonna be about it for this week.
Yeah, if you
If you want to check us out on any of our social medias, where can they find us?
yeah, our Twitter is Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram and our YouTube are both Bunebape. And you could follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. Come stop by before I go on vacation.
Yep.
That was your time.
And yeah, so that's about it.
That's about it. Thank
Again,
you guys for
hopefully
listening.
you all enjoyed it. Thanks again, and we'll see you all
Very soon.
bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Meet
Emer.